The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, government MPs in Bimini tonight. They began arriving early this morning. And so what's at stake this weekend? Well, we take a look inside. Also tonight, Kirk Cornish is vindicated after fighting against charges of rape, assault, and death threats. We talk about how the prosecution fell down on the case and more. Also, here's a question for you. Should minimum wage be moved to $2,500 monthly? Sounds good, right? It certainly would make a huge difference from where it now stands, $1,040 a month. And later tonight, the Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality is here to talk about the Made in the Bahamas program. It's all straight ahead for you. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, take a look at this video shared with Beyond the Headlines today. It shows the first group of the members of Parliament arriving in Bimini this morning to start a weekend conclave of the Progressive Liberal Party in the government, where many feel it's a make or break meeting for the government. It's also being speculated that perhaps this is where and when the government will also trim the fat to create a leaner, meaner team moving forward to the 2026 general election. Well, of course, you see the group arriving there. I can't make out exactly who we're looking at on the screen, but I'll tell you those MPs started arriving. You see the Western Air aircraft that they arrived on. They're being greeted at the airport in Bimini. And so they're there to listen to everybody there to fight their case, fight their cause. And the Prime Minister is there to say, this is how it's going to be. We're going to start right there this evening on this Week in Review Fridays here on Beyond the Headlines. Good to have, of course, our contributors here, Leslie Miller and Michael Turnquest. Good evening to both of you, gentlemen. It's good to have you both here.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas.
Good evening, Shanique, and good evening, Bahamas. Pleasure to be back.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, you both saw the video. The video is a little longer than that, but you saw the video. You know what's going on this weekend, and by now, everyone is in Bimini. It said that, listen, well, they're going to have a little, they're starting off nice. They're having a cocktail reception or something at this hour.
Yeah, I'm drunk it.
Leslie, what they doing?
I'm drunk before they start.
Before the real talk start, because this government, this administration really has to have a real talk with many of its players. Michael, your thoughts on exactly what needs to happen this week and how you think this week will shape up, this weekend rather?
I mean, Shanique, you said it best. They have to cut the fat in order for the Progressive Liberal Party to, see themselves going into the next election. I mean, I don't know if this is a clear indication that we might have, because I find that, election is supposed to be, 2 years out. I don't know if this is an indication that we might be looking at an early election where the government is making a move to possibly next year call a snap election and, see where we go from there. But it's definitely, the PRP has a lot of work to do. They have a lot of bad apples that they have to either, part ways with, and, in order for them to so-called reclaim the government in the next coming election. And I'm sure, we've been on this show many times, and, we've spoken about many of them in terms of those who aren't cutting the mustard. So, we'll see. Those who come out with their mouths makeup, I'm pretty sure it'll be those who will be...
But do you think this is the meeting where they will be like, listen, excuse me, you over there, come here for a second.
I'm pretty sure, Shanique, this will be the meeting where they know what their faith are. I mean, at the end of the day, you have... If we're looking at an early election, right, you have about, maybe 9 months to a year to get to get your act together. To me, that's not enough time. Not for the Bahamian people to say, oh yeah, we can put you back in there again. Some of these members, so-called member of parliament, they need a whole, maybe another 3 years, another 5 years to get the act back together in order for them to get re-elected by the Bahamian people. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of mess to clean up. I mean, we've seen it over and over, and every week, you know, we come on this show and we talk about where people have either dropped the ball, where they've just, you know, some of the things that came out of their mouth, the way that they're not actually being in their constituencies. Members, the Bahamian public calling them out, say, oh, we haven't seen them since the last time they've been here, when the last election. So, you know, it's those type of things, and you're not going to come in. Bahamians, our voters are getting smarter. Day by day, year after year, we have a lot of young people, educated young people, who are going to be like, buddy, don't come around here with the same talks you came the last. You say the last election.
Take that game
yeah, take
elsewhere.
that. You know, you take that SHIT someplace else. Don't bring it here. So, you know, I mean, the electorates they're getting smarter. You see the U.S. Politics now. They're talking about how many young voters are coming out, and those are the same. It's the same. I would say makeup is what we're seeing here in the Bahamas, where young people are getting more involved. It's not our Grammy and those who, you know, we've now skipped a couple generations, the generations have passed down, and these voters are very smart. They are following the social media, they're following all of the platforms, and they think they may not be watching the regular radio shows and TV shows, but they're on that Facebook and TikTok and all these other things and listening to everything.
That's how they're being informed, through clips.
So it'll be interesting to see, you know, who comes out of this meeting with their face turned up. Those who come out, you know, smiling, I'm pretty sure it'll be, you know, good news. I'd like to see the exit video.
That's what I want to see. You're right. Leslie, arrange that exit video for me, please.
You can make that happen?
You know, maybe the time has come for the PM to have a reset of his government. They have an overwhelming majority in Parliament. That always causes problem, because everybody become a little demigod sometimes with the power that you have. I've seen it over the years. I believe what needs to happen now, as a good gentleman said just now, some changes need to take place. One thing is certain, there's no hate for Philip Brave Davis right now. As you go through New Providence, there's several constituencies, there was passionate hate for the last crew that was in there. That hasn't arisen yet, from my experience. Mr. Davis is a fairly decent guy that is always never going to tell nobody no, and that's one of his problems. He's always trying to cater to everybody, and I think some of the members there take advantage of his kindness, you know, and some changes need to take place, because if you look at what is going on in the United States right now, and it comes to an end on Tuesday, Elections are won and lost on the ground. Could you imagine the United States? They got over 300,000 people on the ground going door to door. Some crew in the Bahamas believe they could win elections in this so-called war room. I never believe in war room. I believe in going on the ground, because the soldiers are generally on the battlefield, not in a room sitting down doing whatever the hell they do. It's going to be interesting. No one has repeat since 1997. Mr. Ingram did it in 92, 97. There hasn't been a repeat since. That's 30 years. It's very difficult to repeat. Patients are very short. If you treat them right, I believe you can. Mr. Davis should win again, his team. Some changes are going to have to be made. But any other thing can swing that pendulum back and forth. On one pivotal mistake, you are history. Because the problem is, the greatest problem you have is that many of the members of Parliament who are there now on both sides have not taken the necessary time out to go and know their constituents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
is the problem.
And that is where I want to take it, Leslie
Okay,
and Michael.
from my own experience,
yes.
40 years out there on the battlefront, it will take any good MP 5 years to know 30 to 40% of his people. You got to really go and work.
Leslie and
That's
Michael, why is it it has been said across the board that that the Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis is really not the issue here?
No, he's not the issue.
He's
their savior.
Much of his MPs are. There's this handful that really is just creating, you know, that one apple that spoils the whole bunch. Why has he allowed that and them to just sit and coast along all this time, that now this is the second come to Jesus meeting that they're now having?
They take that attitude because they believe that they won.
That they what?
They believe that they won the election. I keep telling them, you all didn't win. They wanted to get rid of ministers.
Exactly.
They did that.
And this is how our voters or our electorate, they are voting very smart. It's not.
Yes.
It's not. A lot of people are not voting based on the leader, And this is where at one point that's how the elections went.
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of moved away from based on the leader, everybody just goes behind. At the end of the day, like Mr. Miller said, they voted against Minnis.
Yeah.
It was a vote against Minnis.
They wanted him
this
gone.
time, yes, Mr. Brave is he's a likable person, like a lot of people know. But at the end of the day, a lot of people, me and maybe Mr. Miller, know some of their constituents better than what the MP know their own, which is where the problem is going to lie.
Because what is interesting, you're right, you're absolutely right, because as we go through area to area, right, not a single member of parliament has called me and said, listen, I see you as in my area.
Man,
because they feel they don't know the area. They feel they don't need you. Where did that come from as well? Knowing how elections are won.
We have moved away. We have moved
I could
away.
go and run myself if I want to.
But if you look at it, we have moved away greatly from, for example, when you had some of our MPs, such as Aldrin Allen, old MPs, Mr. Miller, and other persons, every constituency would have known these individuals, no matter where they go. You have today our so-called members of parliament. Most of them, nobody recognized. No. They go in certain areas, and you look like, okay, who he is?
Yeah, that's what they keep asking you.
And that's the question that's asked.
Some of them are so unmemorable.
They jump in their car, they look for their driver.
They are. No, I'm telling you, there are some, and I'm
no, there's a lot.
No, there's quite a few.
It's a lot.
Just a good handful. You forget they exist. There's nothing special about them or unique. They have not made themselves get up and rise to the occasion to represent the people that elected them and put them in the House of Assembly.
I have not changed my telephone number from the time I was elected and was a minister in 2002, 424 33 310. All of my kids, every single one got my number. If I had 20 people came to my office in 5 years to see me, that was a lot. They didn't have to come to me, I went to them. You have to continually
and these fellas
mix with your constituents.
They change their number every month.
And remember, we also talked about at the top of this week, the elderly feel unseen by the people they vote.
88-year-old woman.
Thank you. The 88-year-old woman said,
moving,
listen, man, they come, the only time we see them and they know us, when they pick us up to go to the election booth, mark our X, drop us off, and that's it.
Well, some are upset with me because they say I give them a hard time but not going to the areas. I said, better for me
you must go to their area for
better
them?
for me to give you a hard time now. That come election day, when you see the woman suck her teeth and bend her hair down, you are history. They didn't know you to begin with, and nobody will remember you after that.
But a lot of these guys believe, women, they believe they're going to win based on social media or whatever videos they make. This is not. Even in the U.S. as large as the U.S. is.
I was shocked.
I mean. And you see the ground game that they have based on 52 states spread. Exactly.
State in every county.
A small little island like what we have, where we have small constituencies, and the people got to be lazy. Got to be lazy as hell for you not to be able to go touch.
You have to send people on the ground that people know.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because they don't know you. So if you send a stranger, they don't know them either. Like most people when I was on the ground, people say, who this is? And they still ask.
You know what it is, gentlemen?
It's a serious problem. It's a
They've been sloppy over the
disconnect.
last 3+ years. Very sloppy. They could care less. Now everybody is scrambling and want to put pressure on Philip Brave Davis to say, you have to run me again. Philip Brave Davis.
He should have cut him long time.
The nation, if it is that this is where the nation wants to go, they are waiting on you to be brave. They're waiting on you to be brave and show exactly who you are. Stand on business. Because some of them are not worthwhile.
The question is it too late to be brave?
Well, he probably should have been brave a minute ago. But the point is,
he'll be all right. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He needs to ensure that this weekend
they still love it.
A major headline comes out of this meeting. Don't make this another little weekend trip in Bimini. Don't do that. Like the meeting that they had some months ago, or perhaps last year, when they also had this kind of, when he told them, pull your socks up, what the hell y'all doing? They still was coasting along.
What's it called? But you have a war. Some of them just don't need to be, because at the end of the day you could fire them, right? As ministers, things that's all. But they still sit in the house and represent whatever the people for the next year or two. We need a recall system where we just pull them back, throw them in the garbage, be done with them, and either go, I don't know if we go into a by-election, I guess that's the way it's set up now.
Nobody
But
want no by-election.
you know, but nobody wants a by-election now. But my thing is, you need some type of let the people recall them and say we done with them.
This is Weekend Review Fridays here on Beyond the Headlines. We never get to all the topics we intend to, but we certainly will look at one of the issues that will perhaps impact the next general election, and that is the cost of living. We're going to talk about the fact that Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell is suggesting what a new minimum wage should look like. Is it real? Is it realistic? We're going to talk about that when we come back right after the break here on Beyond the Headlines.
It's time to get your fall cleaning and home remodeling going with Grand Bahama Tiles Fall Sale. Enjoy 15% off all tiles in stock with an additional fall giveaway for 3 lucky winners. It's happening this week, Friday and Saturday, November 1st and 2nd only. So hurry in and catch the fall savings. Call them at 352-7920. Some restrictions apply.
Get ready to win Lucky Bucks. Wherever you see this taxi, flag it down.
The boy hard, beating so hard, but I will be hard. I'm looking for my first contestant to ride in the Lucky Taxi. You walk in the taxi, you got this lucky walk there. Oh, thanks. Man, thank you, sir. 85 times 2 is how much, brother? You only win $170, brother.
I never expected to win as much as I win.
Very excited when the gentleman picked me to ride inside the taxi.
So if I had to choose a game that would stay, it would be Island of Taxi.
You could be next on the Island Lucky Taxi.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by the best of the best Rake and Scrape Reloaded on November 2nd at Breezes.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. We are going to Leslie. Leslie, we are back live. We are going to shift gears, and we're going to just for a brief moment, because you know the time always kind of runs away from us. So quickly, gentlemen, I want to bring you both back in. Leslie Miller, Michael Turnquest. Kirk Cornish certainly is, I don't know if he in this weekend meeting in Bimini, but I'll tell you what he is. Oh, he's there?
You got to be there. He's a member of Parliament and a member of the party. He has every right to be
I guess they speed up the case to make sure he make it to that meeting.
I don't think so. He's a free man. You remember
He's
he
a
said
free
that?
man. Free man.
Hey, he was cleared by his peers.
Yes. Nine people unanimously.
And 7 women.
7 women?
7 women.
Why? Okay, let's just talk about
7 women.
And you know what? Hey, we respect the jurors' verdict, and that's what it is. And Kirk, women. You know, hey, good luck to you. We'll see how you fare after this weekend. But certainly, let's talk about what was said and quoted by the defense as a sloppy case with no evidence by the prosecution.
I think I haven't followed the details of the case in terms of, what the prosecution would have presented. And, at the end of the day, when you look at this case and you look at other cases, I just compare in terms of how many other cases we have sitting out there. We talked about the other day about 176 murders, and we have, we have a ton of rapists and all these other things that have just been pending for years. Just pending.
A decade to unclog the clogged system.
Exactly, and then we see a case of this, matter quickly, it's brought up, done with within the space of, I don't know how, 2 years maybe this has been going on.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Which is long even, but at the end of the day, we have so many other important matters that when you compare to, rape is rape at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, he was cleared not guilty, all I can do is say at this time, when I look at what the country is going through with other cases in terms of murder and things of that sort, and the time frame it takes, and 10 years to clear some of these cases or even longer, it's a shame. I am kind of, saddened to see that, happy to see that he was,
yeah, good for him.
Good for him. But at the end of the day, I would like to see other cases.
They needed to get rid of that. But you're so right in terms of what Ralph Gonzalez said, the president or prime minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that this judicial system here, this one here that's limping along, needs to get repaired.
Yeah, you see people on Facebook saying, this isn't for this court system, this is made up for the poor in terms of, to make sure they suffer, they go through, the long, and those who have the money or in high-ranking places, it's like things are just fast-track and done with.
I think we need to bear in mind that the evidence in the case obviously was weak. What is most interesting, though, that I understand two of the lady's family members took the side of the gentleman saying how nice he was and he was a decent guy and they want him to get married and they should have been a couple, etc., etc. And, when those things happen and, he appeared to be a decent person. We said it from the beginning, very soft-spoken and what have you. And if a jury of your peers decide on the verdict, we have to accept that.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely.
So that case is finished now.
Yeah,
would he run again? It's doubtful that he'll ever run again.
Well, that's unfortunate for him because again, his entire reputation, has been ruined, political career.
And but another thing that you have to look at, and you see a lot of young men go through this throughout their lifetime. Maybe it's I'm not saying every case is the same, but you have a lot of young men are accused of the same thing, and some end up going to jail unfairly. They found guilty, but these are the things that men have to go through. And I'm not trying to be biased in no way, but at the end of the day, when people are dating or whatever it may be and someone gets angry or of something that might have happened, they turn on you and all of a sudden, I can find myself one day, being with the wrong person, trying to say, hey, I did X, Y, and Z, which I know, like, really, I didn't do, and...
But I'll tell you this, it's difficult to prove in any event when there's an ongoing relationship or there's been a relationship for years.
Yes.
And I don't think that the rape kit, etc., that should have been done immediately. She wasn't even spoken to until perhaps weeks later, if that. It's just been.
But she didn't report it.
But she didn't report it. But it was handled. It was handled poorly.
Someone put that in her head.
It was handled poorly to begin with. In any event, Kirk Cornish is now a free man. To go and live his life. He is, as well as everybody else, is in Bimini. So we'll see what happens. Gentlemen, before we wrap up this segment, let's talk about the minimum wage matter. Bahamians would love to hear that suggestion and the fact that, hey, minimum wage should be looking something like $2,500 a month.
Put him to work to
I mean, have you gone to the store recently? I overheard a lady today talking about, but I don't know where she goes and shop with, I think it's near $300 for a month's worth of grocery. She must see
per month. You mean a week? What are you talking about?
For a week, exactly. However, though, we know that weekly when we go to the store and we pick up our fruits and greens and the rest of it and eggs and all that, that it's well over $100. Sometimes you look at it, you be like, what the dickens is like just about $202. And me, this happened to me this week.
Shanique,
I'm like,
you know something? You know something?
I know, I said well over.
The other day I heard, we now looking at, we just did an increase in NIB. It's not enough. We maybe have to look at more. Now you're talking about minimum wage. You just said you go to this food store. If you increase this minimum wage, you better hope a damn food store there to go to when time for you to say, oh yeah, I want to go to the grocery store. Because I guarantee a lot of these small and medium businesses, they can be like, hey, I had enough of this. I can't take it no more. Because at the end of the day, you giving me a high school dropout, and you telling me I should pay them $650 a week, which they bring no value to my company. All they do is bring a lot of headache, and you want me to pay them $650? If it's $2,500 a month, I think it works out somewhere between $600 to $650 a week. Come on, you can kill a lot of the small and medium-sized businesses. You will wipe them out. And you're talking about increasing NIB. I mean, the cost of doing business in this country, we talk about taxes all the time. We getting the hell tax out of us. And now you want to tell us, this person, we know they're not qualified to do whatever it is that I have them to do, but I should pay them $650 a week?
The biggest problem we have in the country right now is not really... I
don't mind people getting paid for what they're worth, but come on, we got to be serious.
No, Bahamians, the work ethic is so lacking.
We got to start...
The work ethic, the qualifications, the skills, the commitment to the job. Listen, some of these people, you wonder if you paying them. And they want it. And so while,
business.
Because you want it, yes. You want everybody to enjoy a better quality of life. Yes. God, we're all deserving of it. Yes. But man, pull your own socks up.
Yeah, some of these people, when you interview them, you think you believe they interviewed you for a job. You trying to figure out, okay, you looking for a job? Because the same as it's the other way around. I mean, we have a young generation, those who are not, a lot of them who have not gone and tried to basically retrain, retool themselves, look for higher education, no matter if it's just a technical school or things of that sort, but they believe we owe something to them. And they come in on a job place and they sit down I'm just here to collect.
The problem we have really is a grossly untrained workforce.
Yes.
The blue-collar sector is where the money is made in the Bahamas today, where the money is made all over the world. That sector has just surpassed the white-collar sector. Unfortunately, there's no trade school in this country. Do you know how many foreigners in this country? We don't have the slightest idea. Right now, in the construction industry, for a tractor operator or payloader, you can't find Bahamians.
No.
And you can't train them.
But the thing is, you don't mind
to implement right away.
You don't mind hiring 5 qualified person where you get efficiency, right? Yes. But these days, you have to end up hiring 10 people to get the same job done. Because you don't have they know nothing about efficiency, they know nothing about how to get execution, and this is the issue, they're not skilled. So efficiency doesn't exist. They have no business skills even to say, if I get this done within an hour rather than taking 4 hours, it makes me look more valuable to a workplace. And these people, they'll sit and they'll want a task that should take an hour, they'll drag it into 8 hours.
The problem is to train our people, have a trade school that people get, because there's so many foreigners in this country, I'm telling you. We are overwhelmed in the construction industry, the heavy industry in this country. Most Bahamians are not working in those areas. How many carpenters you have in this country, Bahamians? 7 out of 10 masons are Haitians. 7 out of 10
and the carpenters Jamaicans. My thing is,
5 out of 10 tile layers are foreigners.
I tell people I don't mind spending money, but you want quality.
Where are the Bahamians? What are they doing? Where are they?
They're on the blocks.
Doing what?
Chilling out, having a collect cup, drinking a Guinness, smoking a...
See, Bahamians have checked
look at the chicks as they go by.
Look at what chicks.
Look at the workforce, the females in our workforce. You see,
I'm even abroad.
You see in some of the corporations, you see females now in BPL. They're linesmen. They're taking over everything. Yeah. The men are sitting back, thinking that the women can go home and they can bring the bread home to me. And our men are just sitting on their hip. They're sitting on the blocks. They want to smoke grass, drink beer, drink liquor.
See, you're a feminized men. That's what y'all have done because y'all have decided. Yeah, many of y'all have done that. Y'all figure what you bring into the table. When y'all started that little narrative about what y'all bring into the table, that's when the game changed.
What y'all bring to the table?
That's what I'm saying. Y'all asked us what we bring to the table. That should not be a question.
Why shouldn't be a question?
Stop being lazy and doggone under-inspired men. Go there and man up. Your fathers never asked that.
What you mean?
I don't know what you mean.
Your fathers never asked women. Your.
Shanique, see, you hold on now. Shanique, when I was growing up, all I knew was hard work. I knew nothing but hard work. I grew up.
That yawn is a generalization. What I'm trying to say, the game has changed, and that is why you see many Bahamian men sitting out there and they figure all they got is whatever they could zip down in their pants, and a woman should be pleased with that. What I'm saying is what made them lazy and silly and now outnumbered on any workforce, including construction sites, is that mindset of man, it's time these women, man, they want equal rights. Well, come, you got equal rights. Change that mindset. How do you even get into that to change that?
Shanique, you know something? I mean, I hear you say, but to me, I have no issue in terms of taking care of a woman. I don't need a woman to bring nothing to the table because in my generation, I believe in working hard and taking care of my family, taking care of my responsibilities. Now, I don't know, but these other young men who have lost their way along the way. I don't think maybe their fathers. I don't know who their fathers are in terms of what they instill in them, but I know what my father instilled in me and what I would have gotten from growing up in persons like Mr. Miller.
His obligation is his family,
his family,
children.
Exactly.
So
I don't need no woman. I need no woman to pay my child's school fees or whatever it may be. I can provide. I can do those things. All I ask is that a woman take care and make sure, be the mother of a child.
You all have become rare. Now we need to change. You all are rare. Okay, but Jesus, finally we agree. They caused me to scream to finally say, Shanique, you're right.
Listen, for the last 30 years,
yes,
when I was in Parliament, the one thing I preached was the fact that there's so many neglectful fathers. You can't call them fathers. Just jokes.
No.
Impregnate a woman.
Yeah. And then go sit on the blocks
like
they flipping young men. They doggone men and looking stupid.
Children in this country don't have their parent name, the parent name.
I agree.
65%.
Oh.
And that's damn. That's sad.
Grown men and women.
That's damning.
Carrying the mother name. Okay, because the minute a Bahamian fella gets you pregnant, when you have that baby, and he ain't working, and you got to work like hell yourself, the woman said, you useless to me.
That's true.
And she go and find somebody else. That baby finished. He ain't give that baby nothing. Not a damn penny. I don't sleep with you. He ain't getting none of my money, because you know what they say? And I argue with these fellas for 30 years. Pot cake. When I give her $100 a week for my son, and she cook, that nigga can eat my food. That nigga can eat my food. I said, but what with the baby? The baby on the damn own.
Wow.
That's life. Yeah. That's real life, I'm telling you.
I'll tell you, I have spoken with social services. Yes, this discussion is very serious about retooling, retraining, upgrading, and upskilling ourselves. Because again, you all have said, and rightly so, you cannot blame any contractor in this nation, because if you want it done right and not have to go and repurchase what you already purchased that at cost, you have to bring in a foreigner, and that is the sad reality.
And you know, something else that I want to ask, and I ask these member of parliaments, ministers, whoever they may be. I want some of them go and open their own damn business. Mm-hmm. And I want them, because at the end of the day, they sit in parliament and they spend the people money like as if it's money falling off the trees.
They love words.
I want y'all to open your own damn business, and I want y'all feel the light bill. I want y'all feel what the NIB bills or whatever, but anything as relates to what it costs to run the overhead to run a business, and then I want y'all balance. I want y'all balance. Balance that budget for me. Because y'all around here talk, but y'all want to give us more taxes. You want to raise duties. You want to raise this, raise that. Now you want to raise minimum wage, everything. Y'all like to make a lot of recommendations. I don't know what they listen to.
I was at customs before I came here. You know the greatest argument that the people who work in customs, who protect our funds. So Mr. Miller, you was there. Why is it that all these second home buyers through the land bread of this country, bringing everything duty free?
Yeah, what's going on with that?
Everything.
To their $1 million homes.
The hotels and everything else.
Yep.
Duty free. Why? Because you want them to get a second home. But if you and me go to Florida and purchase a home, what do we do? You pay every damn tax that they got.
That's right.
Yeah, but here, they get everything duty free. And not only that, they rent you their place. Because ain't nobody live in no place year round, right?
Thank you.
So they rent the place, so they get their money in the United States.
Yes.
They bring their car, they rent out the car. And so what is our benefit? They say, well, you have to upkeep. Bahamians don't upkeep.
No.
The Haitians want to clean the yard.
They have now hired foreigners and their friends
Exactly.
to be property managers.
It's a joke.
Bahamians are rarely property managers
Why
anyway in this country now.
Why don't we give the exemptions to the Bahamian importers?
Exactly.
Those like the Rupert Roberts and those where they can lessen the burden in the food store. And I just thought about this today, earlier today I was having a conversation.
But let me stop it. There's very little duty on food items. Over the last 30 years, it's just about zero on most food items. The biggest problem that Rupert Roberts has is that damn light bill from BPL. This man used to pay when I was chairman BPL $60,000 a month to 80 for every store.
Oh.
Wow.
I said 60 to 80,000 every time you had the price down, because one time you had it down by 30%. Okay? And now he's putting solar on all the stores to try to beat it. And don't forget, whenever I talk to Mr. Roberts, he said, Leslie, if y'all could stop these people from thieving from me,
well,
he lose over $4 million a year.
That's a tall order.
Over
These are the
$4
same
million.
people we want to give and raise.
He say, just $4 million, we could reduce the cost on our items
That is a tall
by
order
that
to
amount.
ask Bahamians
I
to
said
stop stealing their
$4
fingers
million
like-
minimum a year he lose
Yeah.
in pilferage.
Yeah, I don't
Or
know.
thieving like
But we
call
give the
it.
concessions,
Remember-
but we give the
remember when
concessions to the
Luther's
hotels and the
economy-
casinos and this, that, and the next.
Remember when
So-
South Luther's economy was destroyed because light fingers, sticky fingers, whatever they call it, let's say you know it,
Yeah.
where though they had wonderful little boutique resorts and second homes, etc. Thief the people right out dry until they left and went back where they came. Now the people are returning. You all listen, go work.
Sometimes we use our own
But
ways.
mind you, our people still deserve a right to have a fair wage rate for them to earn, because people
I
are
agree.
there earning.
$1,040 ain't gonna do it every month.
ain't gonna cut
Jesus
it.
have mercy.
No, I agree.
But it's more than
$1,040.
it's 260.
It's 260.
Times 4.
Man, hold on, man.
But like I just want to be be on. I am not opposed to qualified Bahamians
260
getting paid. But don't. but-
$260 a week
Yeah.
times 4
Yeah.
is $1,040 a month.
Holy shit, that's a little rough.
It is rough.
You
I mean,
can
we
set it
have
on
to
the
either
weekend.
we have to
That's
balance
rough.
it some way.
Yeah,
we have to either look
that's
at
not fair.
how do we reduce the taxes
That's
on the
grossly
people,
unfair.
or reduce
Grossly.
the cost of items when they go into
You
the
couldn't
grocery
get a
store and things of that
two-bedroom in
sort.
Stapleton right now for $1,000.
Yeah. But there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance. But how can I go ahead and pay
But Mr.
somebody
Mitchell also
who is
touched
untrained,
on the high cost and low cost
unqualified?
housing. You didn't get that.
No, I didn't see that part. Sir.
That's another serious problem. How could you call a home a low-cost home and it's $220,000? Who the hell can afford that?
And then the quality.
And the government giving you a lot for free now.
Some years ago,
We give you a lot
it
for
was
free.
they were with 90,000.
Yes.
It was around 70,
Yes, it's
90,000.
The construction quality of the house
Well, the
is
quality,
also in
hey,
question.
I had a lady call me yesterday. In fact, I don't want to call the guy's name. She gave a contract code for $60,000. The fellow father died. Then the Consumer Affairs, one guy there, I can't remember his name, McKinsey or whatever the hell his name, took it over the case. So he can sort it out. That's what they're there for, to sort these things out. Nothing has happened from that day to this. She called me day before yesterday crying.
There are
Mr.
people
Miller,
so
deal with
frustrated in
it.
this nation.
Okay? They have to deal with these unscrupulous contractors
Yes.
who rip off women, who
Yes.
prey on them day and night.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Consumer Protection Agency was set up
Yes.
to protect and enhance the lives of these people. Okay? And nothing has happened.
Well, I'll tell you, I think Randy Roll has been appointed to consumer protection.
Well, he needs to step to the plate.
Well,
And not, I love what he's doing with the food
Right.
and
so
the
he
medicine
is-
and all that.
And they're going to look on all the
But
other
he now got to
areas.
deal with the contractors.
They must,
the unscrupulous
because many
ones.
of these
And there are many
contractors
out
saying
there.
they are charging this and charging that
Okay.
again, Bahamian, and they can't even pick up a hammer to hold a nail to hit
That's
it
true.
straight.
You're
And so
absolutely
the
right.
thing is, stop this foolish game we playing, wasting people money.
Okay?
Leslie, the school you talk about, I'm not sure why that continues to stall, but these people need upskilling.
But I'm
It's
saying
urgent-
with
it's
energy
urgent.
by installed.
But like Shanique, like I
Wrong
said,
name.
people don't mind paying for trained, qualified people.
I
But we
agree.
can't play politics and say we want to raise minimum wage just because maybe we're looking for votes. And then all of a sudden you have a lot of small and medium business that make up our economy, and you're going to basically put them in the hole.
1,040.
$1,040.
Yes,
sir.
it's rough. I agree, but at the end of the day, we have to look at the commerce side of it, and you look at the business
must.
side of it.
No, it has to be a
and
balanced
you
look.
can't just impose that on small and medium businesses because you're gonna basically the light bills are already killing them and other things. You're gonna put them in holes where as though they gotta say, hey, we gotta call it a quits. We can't do this.
Gasoline at $5.38.
So all these things we have to look at. We have to be
let's work and put laws and policies
One of the Bible
in
said the
place
poor will
where
always be with us.
every Bahamian benefits. The person that you're trying to reach to bring up, as well as the small and medium-sized business owners, they too must survive and then also be able to enjoy the surplus. You can't strip the surplus and all they're doing is fighting to pay the bills and keep the doors open. So it has to be a balance.
You got to put a tiered system in place based on whether the business is making X amount of dollars or the gross is this amount of dollars. But you just can't say across the board you're gonna cause some business to say they throw in the towel.
Very good point. Gentlemen, I thank you both very much. I mean, it was much more we could have gotten to. We saw, of course, the issue with the brothers-in-law that killed each other. I mean, who the dickens ever heard about that? The brothers-in-law killed each other. Murphy's still locked up?
Murphy's still in
Murphy can't be in jail still.
Yes.
I see Murphy get more other cases popping up on her.
What cases did Murphy do allegedly? What's she doing?
Murphy was nervy, I'll tell you that.
I tell you, listen, we can come to that because I'll tell you.
Pretty damn nervy, you know?
Very nervy, very nervy.
What do they call him nervy? That's a good name.
But we will pick up this discussion on Monday. We look forward to having you join us. Certainly, of course, a lot to keep you abreast on. Remember now, we are here to be your voices, to express your issues and to get you the results that you seek. So continue to tune in here on Beyond the Headlines. Gentlemen, I thank you both, Leslie Miller, Michael Turnquest. But don't go anywhere, guys, because we're going to be talking to the consumer, the business, the Bahamas Business or Bureau of Standards and Quality. They have a new program they're rolling out, and they are going to just help you. We talk about, but oh really?
They need a Bahamas Bureau for Politicians. They need to keep a standard.
They need to bring the politicians under that bureau. But listen, we are back.
That came under my watch.
Well, Leslie, we're going to speak with them right after this break. Stay close.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group along with Alpha Sounds present the best of the best Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year, featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Races Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack location. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skypods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Best Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded.
What you doing? Where you at? We got a code that you can crack. With Island Luck, you can win. $1 million. 7 digits, 0 to 9. You could redeem your promo points online. You should be guessing and not stressing. Could be $1 million in your possession. No need to question what's happening. We just made up some games to try to get you some money that'll make it alright. So if you wanna change your life, crack the code and stop joking. Crack the code and stop joking. Crack the code and stop joking, yo. Crack the code and stop joking. If you guess the numbers right, no more stressing. We'll be ballin' tonight, baby. We can make your dreams come true. Crack the code today. Win $1 million only on Island Luck.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience, with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by EV Motors. Drive the future with brand new 2024 electric vehicles. EV Motors, powering your journey.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Well, of course, on this show, we push always for empowerment and sort of getting your own thing going, getting your piece of the economy. But how do you do that? And how do you show up in a way that you can become not just a national player in terms of the quality and standards of your product or your services, but also an international player, tapping into that international market? Well, the Bahamas Standards and Quality Bureau is here, and they are rolling out a new program that's really going to help make this all happen, called the Made in the Bahamas program. It is something where you can get involved, where you can be skilled, because you heard the last segment. We complain about the fact that Bahamians are falling or have fallen behind in terms of preparation of skills, of how we show up. This is your time to take advantage of this and step in. So I'm so happy to welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Dr. Renee Buford. She is from the Bahamas Standards and Quality Bureau, and also Jonathan Cartwright. Jonathan Cartwright is here to represent the Bahamas Light Industries and Development Council. Good evening to both of you. It's good to have you both here. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's good to be
Thank
here.
you to be here. It's good to be here, and thank you for inviting us.
Listen, if you all would know my last guest in the last segment, right? Certainly Leslie Miller. He pushes the light industries.
Yes.
We will get into that, but let's just talk about how important that this Made in the Bahamas program is towards achieving that and getting that sort of front and center, where it's profitable, where it looks good, where it's appealing to the public.
Yes. So good to be here again, Shanique, and we're just happy to be here. The Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality is under the Ministry of Economic Affairs. We are a statutory body, and our goal is to promote standardization for commodities, goods, services, processes, practices in the Bahamas to benefit the consumers, to protect them, safeguard them, and the environment, all in an effort to promote national development and also the economy. And so we're very excited about a brand new program that we are moving forward with, and it's about promoting local manufacturing products, something that has been going on in this country for years, but we're mandated to ensure that we offer this quality assurance mark that can certify businesses in the country and take your business, give it that competitive edge that it needs, take it to a next level, and it showcase your business, promote your business, and you set you apart, and also to help to improve exports. So it's a great benefit to the country. It can add economic benefit, also builds confidence and trust in Bahamian-made products, whether that is a very macro business, a very small business, to a very large business. And we're here to offer that quality assurance mark to Bahamians and produce that certification to say that this is made in the Bahamas.
That is really awesome. I mean, to step up again what it is we do. You see so many people in various little pockets creating this, creating that. Some of it, even you question. I know I have a family member was talking about one of the local festivals she attended and questioned, how is it that this person could have this for sale? Who approved it to be on the market? So this is kind of sort of the things the Bureau is addressing.
Yes. So the aim is, like I said, we have all kinds of products, and they're in many stores, and you even see some that may have Made in the Bahamas on it. But this will be a quality assurance mark where we would take it through a process. So it's an application process. We'll be looking at various criteria, of course. The first one would be, is it a really registered Bahamian business? I can go through that. Do you have a current business license, and is it registered for at least 12 months? The local content, the last substantial transformation, the creation of the design or the production to the final actual product. So we know that you may be purchasing some of your raw materials from someplace else, but let's look at the actual creation of that. We'll be looking at the labor market. We'll determine the percentage of Bahamians that are actually employed or reside in the business. We'll be looking at the local value.
So it's almost sort of not to be repetitive in such a small market still, huh?
That's right.
Okay, very
That's right.
good.
So we look also the addition of at least, we'll have a percentage, so let's say 80% transformation from that imported raw material to the finished product. For products in which foreign raw materials may be used, we'll ensure that it's actually the processes and the practices and the labor that's put in. The love is actually made here in the Bahamas. And the last part of it would be documentation. So the processes that you would use, your records that would be in place to support the actual production process. So for instance, the production records, traceability of it, human resources, like I said, customer feedback. We'll have an assessment team that actually will help you actually. If you have a small business, we'll have a team to come out and actually help you to build yourself up to where you can actually have this stamp of approval to say that it's made in the Bahamas.
That is very, very good, because I'll tell you, again, this is needed information and assistance to help get and build businesses where they're competitive.
Yes.
Not only in this space, but regionally, internationally. But let me ask one very important question. This isn't just another thing to tie people up, though, because that's another complaint of businesses, and people are trying to do business. I mean, on the small macro level, as you talk, they talk about the fact that when you go to this entity and that entity and the next entity, all which is necessary, it's almost like the wheels just stop turning.
No. We're here to promote your business. So we want to take it and bring it to a competitive edge. So we will have a team of assessors, standards officers that will work with you and sit with you and help to create whatever it is you need to get you to the point, to the quality assurance mark.
So Jonathan, I want to ask about how does the role of this certification program, what role does it play in the whole light industry to help improve it, enhance it, strengthen it, and also kind of like just like Ms. Buford said, just to kind of put it out there and make it more appealing to the people you want to reach, the customers, so that they are inclined to purchase?
Well, Bahamians, they typically like Bahamian products. That's what I found in my years in business.
What is your business, by the way?
Bedding, mattresses, and that sort of thing.
That you create locally?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome.
My family's been doing it for about 50 years now.
Amazing. And so here is this, that's a success. Let's just talk about that for a moment.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that you've kept those standards, you've kept people coming back and being return customers. I mean, how did you even establish and kept that going to the point that is now a regarded company that is sought after?
Well, the Bahamas is small, so your product has to be of a good quality, because if it's not, they will talk about you in a negative way, and you won't be here for too long. But this mark, Bahamians like, I find that Bahamians like Bahamian products. So this mark will give an assurance that this product is made in the Bahamas. And Bahamians are proud people. They, like when they come to my place of business, for example, we have a window, and they look into the factory and they're like, oh, I didn't know this was made here. And it gives them, it seems like it gives them some pride that they're supporting local businesses, and a lot of them are amazed by it, and that we have this sort of thing in the Bahamas. And there are many other factories, some more technical, some more manual, like my own is more manual. But Bahamians love that, and this mark, it will not codify, but it will seal that branding in.
Not only that, what it does for tourists. See, tourists have long too complained about the fact that they visit here and if they could find that in China, or they could find that in the USA, or wherever else they could find it, why buy it here? So to see that stamp, which we know has gone through all these various steps and is approved, made in the Bahamas, that too does something for business, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's all about, boosting the economy and the trust and confidence of a product. And like he said, it kind of codifies it to say that this was actually made here, and it went through a rigorous process of certain guidelines and industry standards to be the product that it is. So it helps with tourism. and it helps with our economy. So all in all, it's a win-win for all.
Even the local market.
I was about to say, what's the impact? What is the expected
even with the
impact
local
on
market,
the local businesses?
you know, so you say the tourists look for it.
Yeah.
But the Bahamian, if they see that mark,
Absolutely.
they know, hey, I'm supporting a Bahamian
Something
business.
that's local, yeah.
And Bahamian workers, Bahamian families.
And something that's quality, because you're right about it. You're right, Jonathan. We don't mind shopping locally. Leslie says it all the time. When it's quality, when it looks good, when it tastes good. In this instance, when your mattresses are fantastic and strong and well made and durable, we're going back to Jonathan, to his company, to purchase our mattress.
Yes, it
That's the goal.
I agree. It emphasizes how locally made products can give that cultural pride to say, I am actually using something that has been verified, tested, and proven. I think it just ups the ante a little bit in the country, and it's good for our economy. It helps to boost us at another level.
Because that's how Bahamians want,
Yes.
Bahamians want to know that what they purchase locally, because we want to see that money stay in the economy, because we all benefit. So we want to know what we purchase locally is durable, that it has gone through various testings and certifications, and that it can be trusted. And Jesus, that it lasts you for as long as you need it to last for.
There's some level of accountability there.
That is some level of accountability.
You bring in a product, let's say with a name brand you don't recognize, you don't know where it's made, and you have a problem with that, there's no accountability, But if you see this thing is made in the Bahamas, passed through a certain body, you know that you could have a recourse. You could say, hey, this product did not meet this standard.
So, Dr. Renee, there's also a reporting aspect of this.
Yeah, so it's an
If I
annual process.
If I go to
That's
Jonathan and his mattress fall apart in a minute, I can go and not just return it, but perhaps even report it.
You can report it, and that's where consumer protection
comes
agency
in, yes.
and stuff come in. There can be a recall, and so it causes us to step our game up. And make sure that, like I said, that cultural pride, that sense of pride, okay, I'm doing this, now they're going to be looking at me a little harder, so I am going to put everything into it to ensure that whatever I say is actually made here. I am putting all of the quality products and processes in place to ensure that this is actually a product that's worth that stamp.
It's really, really awesome. It's good to hear this. I mean, it's good to see that we are making progress in many areas, necessary areas, and bringing the standards where they should be. What's next for the customers?
Well, we are going to be having a Made in the Bahamas town hall meeting, and that will be on the 14th of November at 5:30 p.m. at the Holy Trinity Activities Center.
At Stapleton Gardens,
Stapleton Gardens. So you can go and register at madeinthebahamas.info, I believe it is. And please, we have a good registration right now. We're looking for more because we will have local vendors there. So we have a variety, a diverse group of artisans that will be on display. Their goods and their services will be on display around us. We have some of the private and public sector bodies that have been involved. So you see Mr. Cartwright is here. We have the BLIDC Corporation. We have BAIC, that's the Bahamas Industrial and Agriculture and Industrial Corp. We have the Tourism Development Corporation with us. We have the Chamber of Commerce. We have, of course, our trade and industry and our orange economy, all sitting at the table to ensure that when we launch with all of the necessary stakeholders in the room. And Shanika, I would like to say this too. We're having a town hall meeting. That town hall meeting is to engage our stakeholders.
Yes.
We don't want to bring something on board without their participation, without their feedback, without their review. So our plan is to take them through the processes that we intend to launch and bring to them. Let's look at the application and the way we are bringing this. And if they have any questions, concerns, they can then address them at that time.
That sounds amazing.
It's important
so once again, this town hall meeting on the 14th.
November, 5:30, Holy Trinity Activities Center. So we'll see you there. Or you
give that address again to register.
The register is madeinthebahamas.info.
Madeinthebahamas.info. info. You go there, and anybody who is anybody can attend. Yes, you have an idea, you're creating, you're in business already. You have something that you know obviously needs improving, enhancing, retooling. You too should be in the room.
And we will have local food and giveaways.
Key, very key.
Very key.
Very, very key.
Very key.
I thank you so much, Dr. Rena Buford. Of course, I thank Jonathan Cartwright as well for being here. Really awesome. The Bahamas Standards and Bureau Quality
Bahamas
and
Bureau
Standards.
of Standards and Quality.
Yes, absolutely.
BBSQ.
Very, very awesome. Launching its Made in the Bahamas program. Again, to equip us all. My God, we're talking about having access into this economy and being empowered, making our own money. Well, this is how you do it, and this is how you do it convincingly, and also perhaps get it out there to the international market. Absolutely. It has to be a good quality product first, and this is what this Bureau is here to help make happen. And so thank you both very much. It really is an awesome program. Really, really awesome. Once again, that town meeting is on the 14th
of November, 5:30 p.m. Holy Trinity Anglican Activities Center.
Stapleton Gardens.
Stapleton Gardens.
Yes, absolutely. So be in the room. Thank you both very, very much. And listen, I want to thank all of you for hanging out all week long. We certainly enjoyed having you here and look forward to seeing you right back here on Monday evening for the entire Beyond the Headlines team. I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a blessed weekend, everyone.